This is Alex with Seville Automotive. Today I'm going to be showing you how to pull the rear bumper off of this 2006 Cadillac CTS. Should be the same for 2003 to 2007. I'm making this video in response. Actually, I looked it up on YouTube and I found one video. Didn't actually show you how to remove it. Showed you all the fasteners to take out, and people were complaining that they didn't actually show the removal of the bumper, so I figure I'll go ahead and do that. As an overview, probably takes about half an hour to do. I mean, tops if you've never done it before. It's not hard. You're going to need a 10mm deep well socket or a 10mm box-in wrench. You're going to need a 7mm socket on a 1/4 inch socket wrench, or again a 7mm box end. The socket wrench makes it a lot easier because you don't have a whole lot of room to work. But if you have a ratcheting box end wrench, that really would be ideal. And you're either going to need a plastic clip removal tool, or you're going to need a flathead screwdriver and a pair of pliers. I don't know why I don't have those. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking these 4 clips out. Those just rotate, by hand, and that'll allow you to pull this panel out. There's 4 10mm bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to come over here. The other guy, I got a flat tire. The other guy said that you would have to jack the car up and remove the wheel, and that's not the case. We can go ahead and take these 2 clips out and pull the fender liner out just enough to get to a 7mm bolt right there. There's one on the other side. And then last but not least, I'm going to have a lot of fun laying on the ground in the wet, but there's 3 plastic fasteners right down here. I don't know if you'll be able to see those. And this is a very kind of impromptu video, so I'm sorry for any poor footage. But so I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken out. I'm gonna get my pliers, and I will get back with you in a minute. There's 4 of them. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they just rotate by hand. It's super easy to pop off. And then you'll just pull this entire panel out. You might have to kind of play with it a little bit, but oop, stuck underneath. All right, well, you also have to take this out apparently. Your center console, or your spare tire cover. Again, just turn and remove, and that will allow the cover to pop up just enough that this can slide out. There you go. All right, now there are 4 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've got this nice impact wrench, makes things a lot quicker, but obviously just any 10mm socket will work. So that comes out. That comes out. That comes out. And that comes out. Alright, so now we're done with everything inside the car. We're going to have to get into the wheel wells now. Wheel well, and we've got these super annoying GM plastic rivets. What we can do is take a flatblade screwdriver, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a little notch there. And if you kind of pry that out a little bit, it's helpful if I actually get things on camera. We're just gonna kind of rotate and go around and twist that out as much as possible. You may end up having to replace these. They're not exactly designed to be reused a bunch of times. But I've kind of worked that out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. And now I'm going to take this pair of pliers and just grab it and pull. And the whole thing slides right out, just like that. I'm going to do the other 4 of these and get back to you in a second. Alright, so now that I got all 4 of these little push pins out, what we're going to do is just push this fender liner out of the way. And you can kind of pull up all along the wheel well. You just want to make as much room as possible. And then just kind of have to brute force it and just get it to lock up against the wheel there. And then if you can look, you probably can't see, but there's a 7mm nut. I've got my finger on it right there. And so what we're going to do, and this is absolutely the biggest pain in the butt of this entire job, we're going to take a 7mm socket wrench, and I actually did the other side already, and in retrospect I wish I had a box in, but I didn't bring it with me. So we're just going to get that on there, and just, as it's going to take forever, but just sit there and work this back and forth, 1/8 of a rotation at a time, and so you can manage to get that finger tight and reach your fingers back there and work it out. like I said, this is by far the most inconvenient part of this entire job. So I'm just gonna sit here and have fun with this. And once again, I'll be back in a second. So I've got this to where it's finger tight. I can't actually get a grip on it though because of the restricted space. So what I've done is I've taken the socket off the wrench and I've put it on there, and that I can actually get a grip on. And I'm just gonna sit here and rotate until I think it should be about out. Almost, come on. I think that got it, yep. And there's that little guy right there. So set him down here next to my plastic rivets. And there's one last thing we need to do. All right, so I'm underneath the car. You can see the exhaust is right there. And it looks like actually 2 of mine are already out, which makes this much easier for me. But there are these little plastic pins. There's one right there, and there was one right there, and one on the far side in the matching space. So, and these are a lot harder to get out without breaking. I think they're like $2 for a pack of 5 at any auto parts store. So what I'm probably gonna do is just try to pry these out a little bit and then cut them. But if I can make it happen without breaking, I certainly would prefer to do that. It's also very wet. I'm not particularly enjoying laying on the ground right now. So the faster I can get this out, the happier I'll be. Oh, pliers, wherefore art thou? Yeah, and see, so what I'm gonna do is just grab a hold of that and pry it out, and hopefully it'll come out sort of intact. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Oh, sort of. Well, I'm happy enough. Get up now. All right, so everything's loose. This bumper should be ready to come off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab back here and see if I can pull straight out. And you can hear it sliding off those bolt studs there. Come over here, and this should just pop off like that. Try to hold the camera and do this at the same time. Not the easiest thing in the world, but yeah, as you can see, it just pries off. There's nothing else holding it in, so it's just a matter of making things work like you want them to. There you go. Try not to jerk it all at once and throw it on the ground like I did, but I'm replacing this one anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Then come over to the other side, do the same thing, and just pop it off. And one more place up here. And so for all the people complaining on the other video that you didn't get to see the bumper come off, there you go. We'll go ahead and take a minute and I'll grab the other one and put it back on. And I mean, installation is just the reversal removal. But I'll go ahead and maybe take some pictures of that or some short clips. If this has been helpful to you, I would really appreciate a like and an upvote. Or I guess a like and a subscribe. Too much Reddit. It means a lot to me. It kind of motivates me to keep doing this kind of stuff. And it's pretty simple for you to do. But I also appreciate comments, anything like that. And until next time, this is Alex with Seville Headlights. Seville Automotive. I changed my name. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for watching. So my last clip, I said this was going to be the last one. I lied. I just figured I'd go ahead and show this. Does that actually match? Yeah, it does. Okay. So basically what I've done so far is I just lined up the 4 holes on this bumper to the 4 studs, kind of push it in place, go around, make sure these clips line up. There's this ridge right here, and you have to get these clips right here behind that. Super easy. I mean, this is really pretty simple. Just pull this out enough. I'm covering up the camera. Pull this out enough to where it can fit behind that, and I'm gonna have to put this camera down probably. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that down. But basically, just you know, pull this out, make all the clips in here line up and go behind this black ridge, push it into place, then we're gonna reattach the fasteners, and that should be it. All right, so nuts back in place, they're gonna go back on. It's very hard to see through a camera, but there's that, that, and